Ooh, what's up, jobbers, and welcome to the latest edition of the Jobber Knocker podcast. As always, Nestlemania alongside for the ride is a man that would never, ever tap out like a bitch, JC.
Never ever, baby. I go out on my shield.
Well, there's a lot of people out there that, have a lot of things to think about and talk about here when it comes to Cena tapping out. We can get into that, obviously, in the program. But also, we've got a lot to talk about as well. We've got Saturday night's main event. We've got Raw. We've got SmackDown, and we can sprinkle in anything else we want in here because it's our show. God damn it, we'll do whatever the fuck we want. Whatever.
Nestlemania. This is the last live show of the year.
It is the last live show of the year.
Because next week or some point will be the Knocker Awards, and then the next live show will be January
6th, probably
6th after
Braun Breaker wins the world title. Yeah,
there you go. So
if Steiner
last
math
show of the year, people. So here we go.
If Steiner math is correct, we will be.
That's true.
Jesus Christ, you Neanderthal Nepo baby bitch. I was just
we'll get to that, baby.
Woo! Oh, I love a good tongue lashing. Anyway, do you want to start with Saturday night's main event? Do you want to go right into the shine?
We should start with Saturday night's main event. We'll keep Cena as the main event of Saturday night's main event, like it was, because that'll allow more people here to get in here since we just started. But we'll kick off the show with the GOAT, Cody Rhodes, who was bumping like crazy for Oba early in this match, Nestlemania. The WWE champion, putting it out there for the NXT champion. But I was really looking forward to this. Obviously, we had the surprise title change with Oba and Ricky, because it just kind of set up this dynamic of this type of match being like, oh, okay, we are getting Oba versus Cody. And I think it's a cool way for Oba to kind of make his main roster debut is on a big event like this so people can see him against the best of the best. And obviously the match ended because Drew McIntyre attacked Cody, so Cody picks up the win. But I did love how Oba was able to take out Drew as well together, and they got the pose, and Cody being like, yeah, this is one of the next guys. So I think this match did what it was meant to do, and nobody took the L, which we kind of alluded to last week when we broke it down, but I'm curious your take.
So a lot of people on my timeline, a lot of people that are friends of mine were like, we couldn't have a clean finish here. And I was like, well, Cody's in a different universe with Drew McIntyre. And of course, your boy, Oba, can't lose right now. I was predicting that Oba, if he had to lose, is fine. Like, there's nothing coming up short against the quarterback, in my opinion. But I get that they had a DQ finish. Obviously, there's, like you said, protecting both of them, which is fine. I wished it was a longer match because I felt like it was just getting good, which is always a good sign when you want something to continue. That's always the sign of something that you really want to invest in here. I will say, watching the spectacle of Oba's entrance, to me, with the light show and the long way, like, it's nice on NXT, but seeing the long walk for him doing the posing, to me is just really funny. And I'm waiting for the day to make someone that makes fun of it, because I don't know about you, but I watched on Friday and Saturday, obviously. Watching him in dress attire doing that walk versus watching him doing it in his gear, completely different thing. Like,
I can tell you who already makes fun of it. Doc doesn't like it. Our boy, the Backcracker. Because it makes it a little hokey. It's like the only hokey thing he does, because everything he does is badass and believable, but it just it's something that will probably be adjusted slowly, because it is, especially in the bigger arena. It's a longer walk, and it's a longer of him doing a little march. So
I think here's the thing though, it's memorable, right? I think regardless of how you feel about it, I think it's something that you stick to. The Ultimate Warrior shot out of a cannon, shook the ropes, the whole, huffing and puffing and gassed himself before the match even started. The way you remember that, right? Cena does the salute and the slide and the whole thing, and Randy Orton does the pose. It's a signature. I don't mind it as much. I would rather him do something very signature-esque to have a main pose, I guess, but he'll get there. He's very young, and obviously they love him. But I again, McIntyre ruins the day. So the other thing I was thinking about was maybe McIntyre versus Obafemi down the line would be fun too, but you never know.
I'm sure that'll be in the cards. They're both big boys, and that would certainly be a meat match spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, you ready? The one win for NXT of the night. Sol Ruka upsets Bayley, as I believe we both predicted last week. What are your takes on this match?
I thought Soul looked great. Bailey obviously was there to highlight and kind of accentuate all the things that Soul does really well. I really love the handspring backflip to the outside of the ring. I thought that was like within a millimeter of the rope. I thought that was just crisp as hell. Obviously, Bailey's the ring general, no pun intended. I think she's really good at navigating people. So I thought this was a great highlight for everybody. I wouldn't say Bailey's cooking, but Bailey's finding something right now. I think when I'm watching it as a fan, I'm thinking like, okay, for the longest time, I was waiting for her to do something, waiting for her to do something. I feel like there's a confidence going on within her that I can see through my television screen that I'm enjoying. So, big fan of Soul, obviously. I'm surprised they didn't play up the Zarya thing a little bit more. Maybe that was just not the time and place for it. I don't know how you feel about it, but
yeah, I think they're saving that.
Overall, good showing. But they did allude to it in commentary, which I didn't mind. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, they've been kind of doing the will they, won't they with them for a while, but that feels like it'll be a big blow off, whether it's at one of the big shows, whether it's at Rumble or Mania, because I mean, Soul, I think the 3 NXT stars they put on this show in Oba, Javon, and Soul, like we'll talk about in the heat, something that's changing on Fridays come the new year. I think those 3 are going to be part of like a very immediate call up in the new year. So I would think the Soul Zarya thing will pay off because sometimes they do the thing where they're kind of tweening. Like Soul probably put over Zarya at the Rumble show or the Mania show. Well, she's also on the main roster, so that's my expectations there. So I think we're getting there with them. But next up, Nestlemania, we had the tag match between the AJ Dragons or whatever the fuck we want to call them, defeating the Bouncy Boys of Javon Evans and Leon Slater. I will say, not only is it cool to see Javon continue to get the spotlight here with these studs, but to see TNA champion on this big show with Cena, who's so young and such a stud, is really cool as well. And this was obviously a bouncy, fun match.
I just, it's funny. Like a lot of people were making the comment about the AJ Styles slip, but he recovered pretty well. I mean, the guy's done it 1,000 times. Obviously, you can't always do it, but if you noticed, just the matches before, there have been a lot of like, sweaty people. So I can get that the ropes are a little bit sweaty. But again, AJ Styles is unlike anything I've ever seen. And of course, Dragon Lee is pretty goddamn decent. But the only thing that I really enjoyed was just the start of this match was just right out of the gate, just like jumping around, like, wow, what a reaction for all that stuff. Because that made me feel like, okay, we're not messing around. This baby, but like we are cooking, we are running, we are going, we are showing the high spots right out of the gate. But I will say this, there's something to be said about Javon Evans because I feel like I wasn't fully there on him, but the more I watch it, like to me, you can always be good in the ring, and that's a good baseline. I'm always looking for what else do you bring to the table in terms of the character stuff. He's been getting more backstage segments. He's been getting more like reps in terms of the SmackDown stuff he's been doing, and I enjoy what he was doing on Friday as well. So I thought, and he did a great job. So I just and Monday as well. I think he got he's been featured a lot.
He's everything like that. They know what they have in him and him being so young, and he 100% has the it factor. Like it just is one of those things like, because I had the similar discussion within myself like about 6 months ago with him, but as he started to be featured more and more next to get opportunities and you just see his personality come out, like his promos, like they're never going to be the cleanest, but like it doesn't matter. Like there's just something about him. He's just so likable and you just enjoy watching him. And it feels authentic with him. Everything he does is authentic. It doesn't feel like he's ever overacting or trying to put on a show. He's just being fucking Javon Evans, who just loves going out there and bouncing around and being crazy. And he's a young kid and he's like living his dream and he's got the wild side. So I think that authenticity that comes out with him, it makes him so easy to watch and root for. And I think it's going to work out really well for him. He's going to be a big star.
I do wonder though, there's two train of thoughts with Javon Evans, like at least longevity wise, right? Like, is he going to go the full Jeff Hardy route and just say, fuck it, I don't care how old I am, I'm just going to keep doing the bouncy shit? Or does he take an about halfway through his career, turn himself into something different and then evolves into something that we wouldn't even imagine? Because I feel like as much as I love the Jeff Hardy way, because Jeff Hardy is true to Jeff Hardy and that's like who he is and we all love him for it. And I can see Javon doing that. There's a portion of me that feels like when I watch him, I think he has it in him to have that gear shift later on in his career. So I'll really, as a fan, be rooting for that because I think as a babyface, he's going to be a babyface, right? Like he's just the highlight of the night. But I think if he ever becomes a heel, I think that'll be the true test of how long his longevity will be there, because he's not always going to be on top. He's not always going to be featured. So you got to find different ways to accentuate what you can do.
So. Yeah, I mean, he's the guy that was always going to just have a chance to wrestle because of his matches. But I mean, I think he's going to be a much bigger star in WWE than Ricochet was. But like, look what AEW has done with Ricochet. They've actually made him a heel, so it can be done. But Javon, like, he's already gotten bigger since when he debuted, so I think he'll continue to bulk up and have an opportunity to look more of that heavyweight type player as he develops. But Nestlemania, next up, The Miz was mad. And you know what The Miz did? He made a mistake because R-Truth brought out the ball of the man that was supposed to get the chance in the last time he was now champion. And what did Miz do? Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. And guess what, Nestlemania? Him and R-Truth beat up The Miz. This is exactly what it needed to be. This is a fun little segment. We figured Joe Hendry would probably be part of this show in some capacity because John Cena really likes him. And this was a good way to do it because this Miz storyline has been a fun little, parallel storyline under the Cena storyline that he's kind of like made the most of. And it's given an opportunity to put a guy like Joe Hendry on a big stage and put him over once again.
I popped big for Joe Hendry. And I think the thing that I love is I know he's part of the WWE NXT umbrella now. Obviously had a WrestleMania match already. Like he's there. I feel like he's so corny that he fits better in the WWE system being corny than he does being in the TNA system. Like as organic as he has been to get to this point, I think WWE will find a way to accentuate even more how entertaining this guy is. So I do believe.
Yeah, we both believe on this program. They're gonna love using him in any type of segment on the main roster. And the crowd is behind him as long as he has his gimmick, so it works. But Nestlemania, it's time for the main event of the evening. The last time is now for that little bitch to tappy tap. Tap, tap, tap out. Gunther tapped out Cena in Nestlemania. You know what that means? Hashtag JC knows. Hashtag JC's hopes come true. Hashtag I fucking told you, bitches.
That is a long comment, Joseph. Cena must have been listening to Little John's Bebe. Is that what it is?
Bia.
Okay. Do I look like listening to Little John? No, I don't. Because he sure tapped out like one. All right.
Little John on Friday. Snap your fingers. Do your stand.
All right. Anyway, look, the match itself, we got Cena calling all sorts of shit. Like I was sitting there going, this isn't like a match that you're sitting there thinking like, oh, we're gonna get certain things. I forgot how much he calls in the match and does not care that the cameras pick it up. And like I was just like, wow, this is all over the place. I remember there was one part with the yay boos. And it looked like Gunther just stopped in the middle and was like, what did you tell me? And I was just like, what the fuck are we doing? But we can get to the finish, obviously, in a minute because JC has his soapbox that he wants to get on. But overall, I think the pomp and circumstance of having the luminaries out in the ringside, even Elias was out there and KO and Sammy and all the others. By the way, I should have given my comeback to Eve Torres because my goodness.
Got it. You can still give it to her. We can talk about her again later in the show.
I mean, I would ad nauseum, but it's so interesting to me because they had the whole thing and he really milked the entrance, which he should have and he could have and did. And the thing that I really watched, like I really watched very intently this matchup because I was just curious from a performance standpoint, what he was capable of doing. And what he wasn't capable of doing. And just the idea of it's beyond me, right? Like, we've never in our lives, in the 20 plus years that we've watched John Cena, had John Cena universally cheered by everybody in the arena. Like, that to me was just like one of those things where and that is so telling of the career he's had. And then like the point where they're like, don't give up. And then he's in the sleeper and he pulls up that one. I was just like, I feel like I'm watching Hulk Hogan. Like, I feel like I was waiting for the whatever. And the fucking do the boot and the leg drop, the whole bit. But like it played up to everything. It was the, you can't see me 3 times. It was the, oh, he kicked out. And then they chanted Super Cena, all of that shit. Like, it's so interesting. because if you watch, he didn't really bump. He took a couple bumps.
Yeah.
But he didn't really bump terribly. Like, he took a couple power bombs. That's fine. And he took a gruesome one on the hardest part of the ring, the apron. But I really enjoyed, not necessarily, and I think this is the part that I wish people cared about more, because they're all like, "Oh, I love AEW for the sports aspect of like the athleticism." This was not that. This was very much a like emotional roller coaster they brought you on one last time, and I just thought it was a masterful way of doing it, because I'm watching John Cena thinking to myself, like, he knows how to play with your emotions. He knows how to get you into it. He knows you. And Gunther is, regardless of what you think of Gunther right now or before this happened, he is the perfect person for this situation. He is, whether you like it or not, because Gunther, not John Cena, Gunther got everybody to cheer John Cena. Like 19,000 people were cheering. They were losing their shit for a fucking, like, for a sleeper hold at one point. You know what I mean? Like, they were losing their shit for the simple things. And I think that to me is like the telltale sign of how good those two were. And I was thinking about it, like, would an LA Knight match have lived up to the hype? No. Would a Carmelo Hayes, as much as I would have loved it? No. Jey Uso, give me the fucking break. You know, like, Miz, as much as I love the Miz, no. Like, Gunther creates this uneasiness, this sense of like, oh God, like you actually have, like, it's predetermined, but there's that feeling of, oh God. So I think a lot of people need to get off his fucking jock, honestly, because he proved beyond a shadow of a doubt, folks, that man right there is built for the moment like this.
I think people also need to realize, and Cena, I mean, he kind of gave it up on social media today, but it's just like the masterful way that this was directed and produced and shown and shot, the end and him tapping out, because it told you the story, and people are just either too dumb enough to see it, too emotional to see it, or just don't want to see it. And it just, what was John Cena doing Nestlemania when he was in that sleeper right before he tapped out?
Smiled.
He smiled. You know why he smiled? Because this gave him closure to his journey, his however many years he's been wrestling journey. I know they've said it. I'm just bad with those numbers. So I don't look at this, and I don't think Cena looks at this. This isn't him giving up. This is him choosing his way of how he goes out. If he goes to sleep and passes out, he doesn't choose it. If he gets pinned, doesn't choose it. But by tapping out, that's him saying, this is the last time. I am choosing this to be my last moment. This is it for me. I will never wrestle again. I'm going out. This is how I want to go out. And he smiled because of it. This is the true end to my story. Not everyone gets to choose the end of their story, whether it's in sports or anything, or in wrestling. But John Cena got to choose the end to his story and say, I'm done. I will never wrestle again. This is it for me. It was beautiful. I loved it. I just lost to one of the next big things, so it doesn't matter. Like, John Cena has nothing to prove to us. Like, that's why him winning this match, like, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. But John Cena got to choose his finish, his ending, the ending to his story, which I think is really cool. And I think a lot of people have just kind of missed that aspect of it because they're so emotional of it, or just think about it for a minute. Like, how often does that get to happen? That someone gets to do that. And Cena's whole thing was never give up, never tap out, all that thing. Well, it makes sense that if you are truly done and this is it, then that's how you go out. Because he never did it before because he wasn't ready to be done. This isn't him giving up. This is him just being done. And that's why I thought it was masterful. That's why I thought it makes sense. And that's why when Gunther in his promo said last week, when he dropped that line about making Cena quit, I was like, it's gonna happen. Like, they just told you what's gonna happen, because it makes so much sense. Not only obviously for Gunther, the obvious stuff we realized last week, but it makes sense for Cena's ending. Because this is a guy, like, he's not gonna come back and do a Saudi match in 5 years like other guys do. I believe him when he says he's truly done. He's gonna make appearances, but he is never gonna wrestle again. And this was the perfect way for him to be like, I am choosing this to be my final moment. I am happy with it. And that's it. So I thought it was beautiful.
So I understand a lot of people's perspective. Like, I understand trying to get to their head of like, oh, he's Mr. Never Give Up, hustle, loyalty, respect. And what is he telling the rest of the audience? What is he telling all these little kids to give up on their dreams and all this stuff? And I'm like, I think a lot of people are missing the point. I think a lot of people, here's the thing. You and I talked about this right before we record. And I want to make sure we say it here because I think I thought it was a great point, which was, okay, let's live in a hypothetical world where John Cena wins. He gets the heroes goodbye and everything like that. It's a really tasteful and classy way for it to end. And he gives the salute. I mean, basically anything after the bell, you just switch the finish and he wins. Everything else is fine. But then it won't last. It's not a lasting memory. It's just going to be part of what it was. It's just like, and then what? And then you move on. It doesn't leave a definitive ending. It doesn't leave anything for us. And it certainly doesn't help anybody going over. If you listen to John Cena very closely, he said point blank, he wanted the NXT exhibition matches against the main roster people because he wants to focus on the future. I just thought it was really funny to me how it just kind of played out because people are just negating the whole fact of like, here's what I tweeted out. And I truly believe this. By him losing, by him tapping out, he took all of his energy, all of everything that John Cena has ever meant to anyone. He gave it to someone else. And now that lives within Gunther. Now, Gunther may not be on the same level as a Roman Reigns beating The Undertaker or whatever else you want to say, getting booed out of the building from Roman Reigns and all that shit. But
not there yet.
He's going to get there. He's going to get there.
He's got two now.
But what I'm saying is by him winning, by having John Cena win, there's nothing. There's no life force. It just ends. It dies. But by him losing definitively for the rest of his life, that life force that is John Cena carries over to the next generation and possibly the next generation. It's going to be talked about. It's a moment. It's something in time that stands the test of time. And you can say the whole time-honored tradition bullshit and all that. I understand people get upset about that. I'm not worried about that. What I'm saying is the energy of John Cena now can live on through Gunther, and he is going to take that, as we saw on Monday, run with it, spike the fucking ball. And people who don't understand that are just not listening to the idea. Because here's the thing. You can disagree with him all you want about Triple H doing what he did. And I understand. Even our boy Jeff Jarrett had a fucking rant about this. I don't know if you saw this. It was kind of crazy.
He sucks. Fuck that guy.
He's like, we don't live in a world now where that matters. And he's like, you ever heard of ref heat? Well, ref heat don't get you anything in the box office. And it's just like creative.
Hey, Jeff Jarrett, what are you doing now, you fucking loser? Nothing. You're a fucking deadbeat. Get off my television.
I'll say this much. Eric Matthews, Eric Bischoff, or whoever said it, smashed 1,000 guitars, never drew a dime.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'll say this much. Now, you really dislike Gunther. There's no.
Yeah, because he was starting to tear the other way. People were starting to cheer for him. But I think that two important things I want to add here, because you were kind of hitting at it there when you were saying that. What does Triple H say after WrestleMania every year? He's like, this isn't the end. Like it's a high point, but it's like this WWE never ends. It is a 365, 7-day. It is a nonstop. The storylines don't stop. So it's like, that's something that's their philosophy. And obviously Cena is bought into that philosophy. But the other thing I want to compare it to, because I saw some virgins crying about this, and it made me think about it. And I'm like, well, you just fucking exposed yourself. Because what did AEW do with Sting? They let him win the tag titles on his last night. And then what happened? What did happen with those tag titles? They haven't been the same since. Those titles are fucking dog shit because they told us they didn't matter and they just dropped them because they like whatever. So it's one of those things like, yeah, it was cool. You see Sting win his final match. Dude's probably gonna fucking wrestle again, let's be real. But it's just like, it's one of those things like there wasn't anything like as memorable with that. It's like, oh yeah, if you were in the arena, you probably thought it was cool. But like watching on TV, it's like whatever. Whereas like this, like you said, this is something people are never going to forget because there is an emotional tie with it, for better or for worse. And that's kind of what makes wrestling great, is that sometimes you get those good emotions, but for those good emotions and those really like fulfilling feelings to pay off, you got to get this shit on the way. you got to get this stuff along the way. And right now with Gunther, what they're building is something special. And obviously we'll talk about Monday and all that stuff in a minute, but it's just like, this was the right call. And I know a lot of people are emotional about it, but fuck your emotions. It doesn't matter. Like, you being emotional about it is actually proving the point, because like we alluded to, if Cena just won, this discussion probably ended 15 minutes ago and we moved on. And we're talking about Maxine Dupree right now. But instead, we're still fucking talking about this because people are butthurt. And you know what? What is best for business? Butthurt little virgins like yourselves. So Triple H says, thank you, you fucking puppets, because you're doing nothing but revitalizing the product with your fucking tears. So that's why. What does JC do, Nestlemania? I take your tears and I put them in my cereal and I eat them for breakfast every day, bitch. Oh, I love this. This is when I love wrestling the most, is when things like this happen.
I think that thing that really bothers me is that people don't want to admit that they're being emotionally triggered by an event. Like, I think that's the thing. Like, oh, he should have won. But it's like, what they don't get is by him losing, your visceral reaction, your knee-jerk reaction is now to be angry. And if you have misplaced anger, it's got to go everywhere. So,
yeah.
I mean, and I think like that's the part that people forget is like, you can think what you think and that's fine. But emotionally, if you don't have your emotions in check, shit like this sticks with you. And I will say this much. This is the part that I think is the most important takeaway for me. You can say whatever you want about this retirement tour now. All you're going to remember is this last thing now. The heel turn was great.
The heel turn, you're going to remember this. And that's all that matters. Like, the rest of it is whatever. The match with Cody at SummerSlam was fun. Sure. Those are the 3 points. The 1, 2, 3.
But you remember, I remember vividly you and I having this conversation, and you, I think you said it like way right after the heel turn. You said, we're going to remember the heel turn, how it started. We're going to remember how it ended. Boy, oh boy, are we going to, I think we're going to talk more about the tapping out than anything else.
Like most things, everything in between is going to age better.
Right.
Because that's just how things work in history, because they had a couple seminal moments and those are the pillars. And as time goes, the tide just rises and it all becomes, and people are going to be like, that was pretty good. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to nail the beginning, you got to nail the end. And they did. And that's all that matters. You can say what you want about the in-between. We got the Knock Awards next week. We're going to have a lot to say about the in-between, but that's because we still remember it. 10 years from now, you ain't remembering that shit because you're only going to remember the two or three big moments. And you're going to be like, wow, that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's get to the shine, Nestlemania. Always in the shine. We're going to get right into Gunther because I love this start to Raw. He comes out. He kept it short and sweet at first. He said he tapped out like a little bitch, and then he walked away. They did the comeback, and he did the pose, and he left again. Then he came back, we're on the table again, and he said the same line again. This was perfect. Like, it's one of those things, like, the one thing that sometimes bothers me is that you don't milk this enough, and you immediately, like, thrust someone else in there. Like, I was just waiting for fucking dumbass Sami Zayn's music or some bullshit to hit, and I was going to be like, no. We got to let Gunther kind of roll on this for a bit before he gets into a feud, whether it's a couple weeks or wait to the Rumble or whatever. But it's like, just kind of like harness this momentum because he's not going to have to do much. You just put him out in front of the crowd and that's a segment and it fucking works. So I don't need to rush him into the next thing. Like, kind of let this settle and let this really become a thing. And then eventually when a babyface finally interrupts him or has a moment on him against the Rumble, it'll be a pretty special moment. So I'm glad for this week. It was like this, and I thought it was the perfect segment to kick off from.
I loved watching everything, especially when it was like, the fact that the one thing I really love about Gunther, or at least respect, is that he does not waver. Like, he is not nervous about it. He loves it. He's just like, come on, give me everything you got. Like, I love that aspect of him. And then he walks through the curtain and it's just like, okay, Otis and Tozawa, which apparently, I don't know if you saw in the break, Otis is going to challenge Gunther, which is funny enough to me, but
yeah, it's an easy squash.
Right. But then like the other people saying shit. And then of course he goes out the door. And there's Mr. AJ Styles. So that now leads the breadcrumb. Is he going to retire AJ Styles?
Yes.
And of course.
Yes.
And then people are going to get pissed off about that. But here's the thing that I think a lot of people will definitely not want to discuss right now. But I think this is transferable. If in fact John Cena let it slip by accident that Brock Lesnar is going to retire at SummerSlam in Minneapolis this summer,
Gunther.
then Exactly.
That's the match I've been asking for like 3 years.
That's the match. So my thought is y'all are bitching right now, but y'all are going to be cheering on Gunther to tap out Brock Lesnar. That's what you're gonna. It's gonna be.
We'll see if it's Brock Lesnar's last match. Nestlemania, you never know.
Listen to me. It is.
There's a lot of Brock heads out there.
It is surreal to me. Like the idea that right now, December, right now, and in less than, I don't know, 8 months, we are going to be cheering Gunther on to beat Brock Lesnar based on what the human being is, depending on what you feel about the human being. But like. That's going to be insane. Like just think about it right now. Like, where he is right now, getting booed out of the building in 7 months, maybe 8 months.
You think Minneapolis is going to cheer for Gunther or Brock Lesnar? You are fucking high as a kite. First of all, they could put that fucking match anywhere. I think if it's Brock Lesnar's last match, I'm telling you, Nestlemania, because I kind of fall into it too. I know he's a fucking bad dude. But when that music hits, I go fucking nuts. I love watching Brock Lesnar. And as long as he's on television, and I'm telling you, it's just I don't know, because I kind of thought the same thing at first, and I was like, man, but if it's Brock's last, and like you're saying Minneapolis, like where he's like,
he doesn't even have anybody that he cares about in Minneapolis anymore.
It doesn't matter, dude.
No, I know.
If it's his last match, I mean, it'll probably be more of a mix, but I think it'll go Brock's way more.
I'm super interested in it because it has to happen.
I just want to happen. I've wanted that match since Gunther's come to WWE.
Yeah, but the thing is now you're thinking about it, right? Like that Randy Orton was the legend killer, and that was cool and all.
Yeah.
But that line, which we didn't really discuss, by the way, that I thought was very interesting and telling, but the line about him being a career killer is something that you can go back to whenever you need to. You don't have to do it all the time.
I truly think he's this generation's Brock Lesnar, because I think the Randy Orton thing is like a kind of be like, okay, God, it's a legend killer, similar gimmick, but like in terms of like that. Like Brock Lesnar was always the end boss heel for all the baby faces, like whatever, even when he was like part-time, because he even was kind of for Roman Reigns too. But it's like Gunther, he's already kind of been that for like the Jey Usos and the Sami Zayns, but like now he's suddenly becoming like the end boss in WWE. And like, especially if he takes Brock Lesnar's aura next year, like that'll be truly him becoming Thanos, getting that last fucking gauntlet, and the thing is gauntleted. So it just, to me, like it's just like Gunther's the guy of this generation, that end boss. And I think that Cena match really set it up where it's like, okay, you've already been an end boss, but now we're shooting you to be the end boss of this generation. Like you are going to be the heel.
Fair enough. I love it. I personally think like he needs to get to that point. So it's fascinating to me. Absolutely fascinating. And we didn't talk about this, but I just want to bring this up real quick. Michael Cole said pro wrestling destroyed sports entertainment, which to me was like,
that was a good line.
Very telling, because it made me feel like it was forced. Not forced, but it was definitely planned. And
that was a bullshit line. I don't care.
I don't know. It is what it is. I don't know.
I think it was just the representation of Gunther representing pro wrestling and Cena being the ultimate like entertainment. Like that's all it was.
Is this who we think it is?
Yeah, black and gold. That is definitely our boy Ben. And Ben, you just came in right for the Cena talk. You got to go back about 25 minutes if you want the whole thing, because we're about to move on. But
yeah, we moved on, Ben. Sorry, buddy.
But yeah, I hope, you know what? That's a good hope. Bonus hope. I hope Gunther retires Sheamus.
Wow. Okay.
It's a shameful thing. Blastering. Gunther's gonna make you top.
Yeah, Ben, you showed up a little too late, you wanker. And is what it is.
It's just a little too late.
Basically, Ben thinks that John Cena should have never tapped out. So, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, you can. It was pretty good. We legitimately went for like probably the last 20 minutes. It was all Cena talk. So there you go. For those of you, if you're tuning in now as well, you can go back to about 12-minute mark. From there on is all the Cena Gunther talk you can get. But Nestlemania, I kind of made a joke about it earlier that if Cena would have won, we would have been talking about this about 15 minutes ago. But first of all, Maxine is hot. Second of all, Maxine is the IC champion. Third of all, she had the Taylor Swift teardrops in my guitar hair, which I marked out for. And third of all, is she a good wrestler now? She's like, once again, she had we've seen her have the good matches with Becky. We're like, okay, she's improved. But Ivy Nile, who's okay, not the best wrestler. They've wrestled a lot, but it's just like, I was watching some like, I forgot this was Maxine wrestling because this looked like a real match.
So, obviously, she had a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction. That happens.
I mean,
Nobody's hating on that. I will say this much. The one thing I love about when women wrestle with Natalya is they learn new moves. Here's the thing. I will always pop. I am very easy in this aspect. If I've seen something in a match that I've never seen before, I saw like 2 or 3 things that I'd never seen, and I was just like, you got me. You fucking got me. Because I feel like I've watched since I was 3. So you do the math. It's over 30 years of wrestling that I've watched. I feel like I know, obvious. I was just trying to
40
be
years of wrestling, more like it.
Shh, knock it off. I look way younger than you, but that's fine. It doesn't matter.
It's because you can't grow facial hair.
That's all right.
It's okay.
I can't grow facial hair, but you know what I can grow? Luscious locks.
Yeah, I could too. I don't want to, though. Get sweaty, bro.
No, it is what it is. Anyway, I will say this much, though. New moves, I'm in. I like when I see new moves, I'm just like, this is great. It entertains the fuck out of me. Like Ivy Nile, by the way, primo. Like there's something about Ivy Nile that like. Here's the thing that when I was watching it too, and this is
wanted to choke you with her chains,
maybe, but there's one thing that this is going to come off like a backhanded insult or a compliment, depending on which way you take it. Now that Maxine is the Intercontinental Champion, I feel like the world's our oyster in terms of who could challenge for it. I feel like when there was Lyra and Becky back and forth for a while, it just felt like there was an expectation of like who had to challenge for it. But I feel like Maxine now really feels like she could literally face anyone. And I love that aspect of it doesn't feel like you need to be a certain level to get there. So I love that aspect. Also, Ben, I mean, I love Ben just for that comment. That's fine. It is what it is. See,
suck up.
Listen,
your audience.
Listen,
so smart, Ben.
Listen, Ben loves me, and that's okay. That's okay. The water's wonderful over here, Ben. Join it. It's wonderful. Ben's got great hair too, and his kid. His kid's got great hair.
We're gonna talk about CM Punk now because all of his insults can apply to you, Nestlemania, as well.
Hey, just keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
That was a great promo, and
promo.
So we had this segment earlier in the night where like Braun wanted to like beat up like whatever, and Heyman kind of called him off, and I was like, oh, does that mean they're not going to go face to face this week? I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with that for this week because we had the Braun solo promos on Punk. We haven't let Punk just completely undress him yet, so I was like, okay, I'm okay with this. Let Punk go out there and undress him, then they'll go face to face whenever in the tape show next week leading up or whatever. But it just like, I mean, Punk fucking did what Punk does best. He just fucking put you on that tee and fucking hammered you until you were fucking gone, baby.
There was a lot. Like I chuckled so hard at the Punk line where he was just talking about you're gonna need your dad and your dumbass uncle, and like I just was like, oh god. And here's my other thought too. Let's rewind a second because you were saying something that I brought up and everybody was giving me shit on Twitter. But so you have weeks of Braun Breaker being like, I can't wait to deal with, I don't show up with this 2025 Punk. I want 2011 Punk, blah, 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 blah. And then they cut a promo backstage where he was just like, he just felt unsure of himself.
He's a rabid dog, Nestlemania.
No,
I agree with the virgins on the internet.
Oh, come on. I just
Braun Breaker isn't like the reason why Heyman is good for him right now is because Braun Breaker is a rabid dog. He wants to kill. So like, you think his promos have been measured the last couple weeks? He was frothing at the mouth. Braun is a fucking psychopath. It's why I love him. He is a fucking ball of energy. That man fucking looks like someone who just drank 34 Four Locos and 34 Monster Energy drinks and fucking just like inhales caffeine up his nose all day. He is a fucking psychopath. So yeah, of course, that fucking dog, he smells that old man fucking scent. He wants to go fucking tear him limb for limb. But that's why you have a wise man. So yeah, I'm with the virgins on this one.
I think it was stupid, but then, but I will say, no. What I will say though, is watching him talk about his uncle and his dad. I was just like, oh my god, they're gonna fly these motherfuckers out.
Yeah, they should.
They're gonna be their front row. So like, my thought is like, there's a real chance. Like, do they fly them out? They could, for him to lose. Yeah, I don't think so.
100%, they fly him out to lose, because CM Punk can have fucking moments with them.
This is gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I mean, it's definitely something you're gonna want to watch. That's for sure, which is great.
Must see TV, January 5th. Set your
But
Netflix R now.
just listening to Punk talk about you Neanderthal, like Nepo baby, I just was like, this guy is just here's the thing. He's not tough. Like, he's just not like, I don't give a shit what anybody says. He's not the best in the world, and he's definitely not tough.
He's an old fucking man.
But man, does he act tough? Like, does he absolutely shit talk better than anybody else? Like, I was watching it and just being like, God damn it, Phil. God damn it, Phil. Every single time I want to give up on you, you bring me right back in with a promo. I'm just like, God.
It's the best version he's ever been, in my opinion. I fucking love.
I hate his Beavis and Butt hair, butthead hair.
I don't even care. I love this version of CM Punk.
It's fine.
My favorite version ever.
And then the ending, which I think is shine worthy. I think we didn't really have. By the way, this is like the 4th match in a row. By the way, that Logan Paul was main evented Raw. So
he's been on TV every week, and he's been wrestling every week. He is committed full time right now. He's like, you know what? Replace Seth Rollins with me, and I'm gonna be better. And guess what? The vision's better with Logan Paul than Seth Rollins. Sorry, Danny.
So of course we have a match, which is a no contest, I think, if I remember correctly. Right?
No, Logan Paul won.
Logan Paul won. Okay. Oh, because of the health.
Because of in theory, the Masked Man.
That's right. So the Masked Man then gets unveiled. It is in theory looking a lot like Justin Timberlake after Crimea River, which obviously is a hit and a banger. So that's good. We all wanted it to be theory. So again, in theory, we're all happy. And we talked about this in the Jobber Knocker thread, but it bears repeating here. It was a slight nod, like, hey, thank you. I'll take the assist here from Breaker, spearing the shit out of Punk. But I think we're on. If I was booking this, which I'm not, but I should be.
Thank God.
If I was in Stamford, Connecticut right now, I'd have my feet up being like, yo, Puppet H, let me help you with this one.
You'd be on WWE Unreal, which is coming back.
I know. Imagine if I was on Unreal. Man, people would be changing the channel. Or at least finding something else to watch. Be like, who's this bozo? But
you look a lot better than Michael P.S. Hayes does on television. So.
But thanks for feeding us, John, is what he said in the promo package. Look, I personally think there should be he's trying to prove himself to get into the Vision. He's not necessarily in the Vision right away. I think you got to milk it.
I think that Logan Paul promo early in the night was telling. I think it's because it was purposely bad acting to be like, oh, I know who it is. So I think, and didn't Logan Paul have a thing with like Theory and Waller, where he had like a little thing with them for a little bit? I think last year,
fair. Yeah,
around the LA Knight thing. So I think there's a connection there. Obviously, like you mentioned, the Breaker thing, and we all know Heyman. Like Theory's been a Heyman guy before. He's been in a group with Seth before, so there's a lot of connections, which is why we've thought this made sense the entire time. But it just feels like Logan Paul bringing another guy into his fold, especially because the week before he made a big deal of how he wants to make sure he has Braun and Bronson's back because he wants to make sure they have his back. So I think it's one of those things, like we talked about it last week about the weird dynamic, and like being like, well, I think it's because Braun's getting his chance now, because I think Logan's the more long term where he's going to try to put himself as the face of this faction, and potentially, who knows, like you've talked about maybe Seth being ready for WrestleMania. Maybe it's Seth Logan at WrestleMania because Logan's the guy who replaced him. Who knows? But it'll certainly be interesting to see how this dynamic plays out. But I am curious, were you surprised, disappointed, happy, or upset, or any emotions that they actually unveiled it this week as opposed to waiting longer?
I think they needed something because they had to book in the show with something big.
Yeah.
Especially like
they've done it enough too. It's been a couple weeks.
I will say this much. I will really, really, really stand on this, is that Triple H is a bad used car salesman. Every time he's like, well, it's an end of an era. It's a new era on Monday. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Every time you say that, it's like a Tony Khan announcement. But what I really, really thought was that by unveiling Theory now, one, I was happy it was him, obviously. But two, I'm glad it wasn't, other people, because I feel like you could make a case for anybody to be in this, but he was dead in the water. He's been out 7 months. He had a really bad injury. And in theory, no pun intended, he beat John Cena at WrestleMania. He was presented in certain ways. Everybody forgets this, but that triple threat match with Lashley and I forget, was it Priest at Survivor Series a couple years ago, was fucking dope. Like he can wrestle, he's
really good. He's always been good. He's been a prodigy since he was like fucking 20.
I think the thing is like, this is just me being me. I think Triple H wanted to de-McMahon him a little bit. You know what I mean? And then like bring him back and make him a Triple H guy. So in theory, it's in theory. So I'm a happy. I
am too.
I'm a happy.
But I might be done being happy. I don't know if I have any more shine.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't have any more shine? Okay.
Yeah. Why do you?
I mean, I'm sure I could make something up if you really wanted to, but that's fine. It's fine.
I'm waiting for you.
Get him off my TV. Get him off my TV. Get him off my TV. Well, we can talk about a lot of things here, but I'm curious. Well, I don't love this whole Kabuki Warriors thing. I don't love the Rhea and Io thing, and it just felt like they advertising for 3 more weeks of this shit. Like, what else are you gonna do?
Well, now the shows are on tape the next couple weeks. So
no, I know, but I feel like Jesus Christ, like we were saying this was bad 6 weeks ago, and here we are in week 14 of it, and I'm just like, we get it. They're gonna win the tag titles. We get it. But boy, are we dragging our feet out on this shit. Like I am beyond like exasperated by it. Like I am not happy. I am not happy with it. I'm not a fan of it. I think I'd rather see any of these other tag teams show up and do something. I read the spoilers already. I'm just like, what the fuck is going? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't want it. Daddy doesn't like it. Okay?
Yeah, I just don't care. You know what I don't like though? Oh, I thought you had more to say.
No, go ahead.
I say, you know what I don't like is Nikki Bella. Just fucking. You see what she did to Raquel's face? Oh my God. You see that fucking lump? That was bigger than the one on my leg, bro.
To be fair, it seems like the women that get whipped into stairs really don't know how to take that bump.
Yeah, Nikki Bella's the drizzling shits though. Let's just
well, Jade got a fucking scar for her rest of her life. And now fucking Goose Egg Rodriguez is what we're going to call her from now on because she got a fucking dome on there. A hematoma, as they say sometimes. Not great, Bob. Not great. But look at it this way. It's leaning into Bella in the Bank, so I'm okay with that.
You know what I was watching Stephanie and Raquel, and you know what I was thinking? This match would be better with Nikki Bella. No, nobody thought that. That's what we're fucking getting because we're fucking filming this shit. I just can't wait till she gets bored of this and fucking goes away and finds another fucking man to glom onto.
Wow.
Rumors that she's fucking going after my boy Big G. Stay the fuck away from my boy Big G.
Who the hell is Big G?
Good for him. Grayson Waller, bro. Come on. God, watch Raw one time.
I do. She's going after Grayson Waller.
Allegedly, she denied it, but I wouldn't blame her. He's a fucking stud. But hit it and quit it, bro. Don't fucking.
I feel like she is a star fucker though. So I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not gonna get into that in this podcast, but I'm just sick. I'm just over it, dude. Go away. Your time was up a long time ago. Your time is not now. Tap out. See ya.
I cannot wait for her to win Money in the Bank. She's not
gonna be around by Money in the Bank. That's like in fucking July. That bitch is not gonna be around till July.
Listen to me. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna take the world's biggest.
You're just Nestle curse Nikki Bella. I'm not even making it to the new year, probably.
Nikki Bella is not leaving until she gets that championship. Yeah, she's just not.
She's fucking gone. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Bye, girl.
I'm telling you right now, it's probably written in her contract.
It's probably going to be the Bella Twins versus Io and Rhea at WrestleMania. Have fun with that one, Nestlemania. We'll have fucking shit mode back.
I don't think Bree's coming back. I really don't. But thank God.
Her husband should stay away from wrestling forever.
Kelly has a better shot at winning the briefcase. Well, you're probably right about that.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben.
Ben, you know what? It's like you're like a Sour Patch Kid. You said nice things about my hair, and then you talked about Kelly in the same hour. So I don't know how to feel right now. I'm neutral. Get yourself on the good graces of Nestle, please, for crying out loud. It's fine. It's fine.
I drank a bunch of those this weekend too.
Sour Patch Kids?
Neutrals.
I don't know what Neutrals is.
It's like a seltzer.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Spell with a U. There's no E, bro.
You ever had a Celsius?
Yeah, I have those like every day.
Yeah,
I
you
also
don't have
had
to.
those while drinking to stay awake, and the problem with those, they speed up your metabolism, which speeds up your drunkenness. But it
Speeds
also
up your
gives you
drinking.
energy.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fine. No need to get hot, bruh.
What did I just click on?
I
I'm
don't
always
know.
hot, bro.
He clicked on some porn.
You know what else I didn't love? Them just like being like making a big deal last week about Usos and New Day, and then just giving it away on TV and having a clean finish and be like, okay, that's it. Now the Usos are going to go after the Dragon AJs or whatever. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's it. Really, really not giving us anything here. I have so much Usos fatigue, which sucks because I love them and I've wanted them to be a tag team for so long, but they have made Jay so fucking just bleh that it's like we might have to have the Seth Rollins discussion with Jay Uso. Take a vacation, bro. Jimmy's got one coming soon. Hopefully Jay takes it too. But the problem is they got WrestleMania and they're gonna want to do that fucking dumbass entrance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, by the way, can we take out that it's just me, Us? Because, bro, it hasn't been just you for a long time. You got every fucking person in the building. You gotta say it's just you gotta change it up now. And also, you're coming out with your brother, so it's not just you anymore. We gotta update the lyrics. You know.
Fair enough. I did not expect you to come on here and say you had Uso fatigue.
It's mainly Jay Uso fatigue because I still love Jimmy. Jimmy cracks
Big
me
Jim.
Up. Big Jim cracks me up. He's a funny dude.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay's great. We need a breather. It's been a lot of Jey Uso in our lives. It's like Sammy's doing the right thing right now because we got a little Sammy fatigue. He's taking a nice little break. He's going to come back. We're going to be refreshed. We're going to want to win the Rumble, and he won't. So,
well, here's the thing: is the tag team lyric is just me? No, it's not. I think he's saying the Jey Uso song.
Yeah, because they're just playing the Jey Uso song pretty much, and it says it's just
because I didn't sound like the Uso Penitentiary when they played.
No, it's been the Jey Uso song because they do the entrance.
Yeah,
but they had to update the Jey Uso lyrics now that Jimmy is part of it, and you have every single person in the building with you. It's not just you, bro. You have literally every single person on planet Earth yeeting for you.
May I just have a quick moment here where I know what you're going to end up saying about me and the whole thing, but I just got to say it because it bothers me.
Yep.
I was watching Dragunov and Ciampa, and I really I like the match, obviously, because I like both competitors, but they beat the fuck out of each other. And I kept thinking to myself, I know this ain't ballet, but call me crazy.
Yes.
Most of these people have families or boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. And they want to be able to have their jobs. At what point is all of this hard hitting going to matter? I just feel like I get that this is just, it is wrestling and you're going to end up having a fucking stiff match and everything. But there's an art to making it look like it hurts when it doesn't actually hurt. That's all I'm saying. I feel like we're losing the art of actually making it look like it's an illusion versus just literally beating the shit out of each other. It's becoming more of a masochist kind of thing. It's just okay, I'm Sheamus and I like to fucking beat people up. Now Sheamus is way safer. But when I watched Dragunov and Ciampa, I was just thinking to myself, he's got a fucking broken nose already. It's just, I just feel like at some point, somewhere down the line, someone's going to do something real gruesome to somebody, and you're just going to be like, was that fucking worth it? Was it worth it for that fucking ooh-ah on SmackDown, really?
Both these guys' gimmicks is pain. Dragunov's gimmick has always been insane pain. The guy fucking dies to win, and then Ciampa's just always been a guy that fucking goes to the ends of the earth to hurt and torture people. This match is exactly what I expected it to be, bro. Come on.
I'm just saying, at some point, it's not wrestling anymore. It's just not.
It's telling you how much the U.S. title means to those two men.
I love a hard-fought match. Don't get me wrong, but there's ways for things to happen. What are you laughing at?
Nestle is paying for their insurance premiums.
I can't even pay for my insurance premiums, for crying out loud.
Well, you know what's going to be funny, Nestlemania? Because my second biggest heat of the week after Nikki Bella's existence is on January 2nd, SmackDown's going back to 3 hours because that's what we all want. So get ready for even longer, more punishing matches and more fluff. We alluded to it earlier. That's why I think there's going to be a lot of NXT call-ups because they're going to have to bulk up that roster a little bit. But we kind of knew this was going to happen because they kind of, what was it? Was it halfway through last year they kind of dropped it or whatever? But now they're hitting Mania season. It's just the extra hour, USA is give us more money. We got more ad space to sell. We see it where I work, like that's why we have to do a lot of hour pregame shows, even though it's against shitty teams and the team isn't as good as normal, just because sales is like, yo, we're still selling. We need more ad space. And I'm assuming that's what's happening here. USA is being like, yo, we can sell an extra hour, so let's go back to 3 hours. And I'm just like, just dilutes the product. It sucks. It does give people more screen time, which is a positive, but we've seen the creative on SmackDown, besides a few select things, has not been great the latter half of the year. So not loving it. Ooh, big dunk.
I'm not a fan of the fact that I feel like Cody is going to be even more. Cody,
there are a lot of 6-man tag main events.
I just feel like Cody really needs to feel special, and I feel like they are not treating him as special as he could be. Because here's the thing, right? Like, I was going to save this for my hope, but like I have another hope anyway, so I'm okay with it. You go back to John Cena losing and putting his armbands and his Skechers in the ring and stuff, and he's just. Could you see the Cody Rhodes thing? Did you watch that video?
I did.
He's just staring at the fucking stuff, and then Jackie talks to him, and he's really highly emotional about it. And I was like, if there was ever a built-in storyline to avenge Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be for a title.
Cody Skywalker?
But, like...
Cody loves Star Wars like me. He's a big Star Wars nerd, so he would eat this shit up.
But what I'm saying is, like, John was his Obi-Wan. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
He got killed by Darth Vader, and it's just, like... It
also
just
chose his death. That's what's
right.
Johnson is
but like,
Twitter, Instagram, whatever.
There's just so much symmetry between it that I just feel like when I was watching him stare at it and I was watching him cry, I was just like, it's right there. It's right fucking there. Like Cody had, like obviously Cody's already beaten Gunther, but now like it's different. It's different because he fucking killed his mentor. Like we gotta have that. Like we've gotta have that be meant. It doesn't have to be for a title, but we gotta have that fucking match.
I would say it's not going to be this year, but I would say next year's WrestleMania there's a good chance Gunther will be champion and maybe Cody's chasing. Because this year I'm expecting Cody Orton. Because that's what I'm looking like. We've talked about this with the Cody title reign. They've dragged this Drew thing out so long because there just isn't enough opponents for like interesting feuds. Because it's like we're waiting for Randy, and then Gunther's one that you could slide in that would be good again. But like besides that, it's just like Cody's beating everyone, dude. He's beating everyone, and there's just so many baby faces, not enough heels. He's already taking care of like Solo and stuff like in the past, and there's just not a lot, and that's why we're getting this absolute milk job with Drew forever, which has really, really diluted it.
Time to get hopeful?
You have nothing to say about the main event?
Which one?
SmackDown?
Listen, I love a good train wreck, but boy.
I was going to say you probably hated this booking because this is what you didn't want to happen.
Well, here's my thing. Now what?
Exactly. I agree.
Now what? I don't give a shit about Priest. I don't give a shit about Rhea. I give less of a shit about Zelina and Black, even though they were doing a good job. And then, of course, Zelina almost died. So I was just like, I'm so glad she's okay, personally.
You ready for this take?
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley's the new Charlotte.
Really?
Yeah.
Want to expand upon that?
Case in point, Friday night, Black and Zelina have been building momentum. In comes the shoveler, fucking bury him right back down. They don't matter anymore. Rhea's been doing that with everyone for a while because she's just such a big star, and she just can't lose. She's the new Charlotte right now in terms of how they treat her. And guess what she's going to do with those tag titles? Shovel her way to the top, baby.
Also, it's pretty telling that she won and not Priest.
Yes, because she is the new shoveler. And look, I love Rhea. She's one of my favorites. She's an absolute fucking stud. I'm just spitting facts right now. And I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. Like, it's just like Rhea's like, when her music hits, she gets a bigger reaction than any woman probably ever. She does. Like she gets like some of the biggest reactions on pace with the biggest stars, the Cody Rhodes, the CM Punks. Like she's right up there with them. She's like deserves to be in that tier. So it makes sense. But this is what we were worried about with this match because it just like you look at like it tipped the scales way too much. And now Black and Zelina are just right back to kind of in purgatory, So
hopeful,
glorious.
You're my only hope. Do you have one or you want me to go?
Yeah, sure. I'll go quickly. Next week we have. What do we have? We have the Wyatt 6 versus the MFT for the tag titles, Nestlemania. For the love of God, I am begging you, take those titles off that fucking shitty faction that is never on TV and never wrestles and put them on Solos, boys. I don't care which two. I would love it to be Tama and Tongaloa, but I'm assuming it's going to be probably JC Mateo and either Tama or the big boy, but whatever, it's fine. Just like pretty simple. MFT have to beat the Wyatt stinks, whatever the fuck you want to call them, because they don't fucking wrestle. They're barely on TV. And no, put them on a real team. MFTs, hashtag JC knows, hashtag JC hopes come true. Simple, sweet. That show's not going to be taped, so we'll find it on Friday, but they're going to tape the shows forward afterwards. But hopefully the MFT are the tag champs.
That actually was taped already.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I don't read spoilers because I'm not a fucking cheater, because I want to be authentic on this program. Go MFT.
Yes, Ben, the Wyatt 6 are still a thing. Have
They're
you watched
fucking
wrestling?
terrible, bro. It's bad. They're awful. I hate saying it, but they suck.
They suck, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Look, my hope is pretty simple. We didn't talk about this, but I was tickled, entertained, sports entertained, when Nick Aldis went all the way to a fake Drew McIntyre home, and Cody Rhodes was outside of his house, and they brawled. They beat up a Santa. They threw a security guard into the lake.
Was this on TV?
Oh, yeah.
I only saw this on the internet. It must have been one of those. They must have done it coming back from break, and I missed it, because when you fast forward on Netflix, you can never fucking tell.
Anyway, it was delightful. I thought it was fucking great, but it made me think of something. The more I watch this, the more I'm like, here's my hope. McIntyre is not going to win this title any fucking time soon.
No shit, Sherlock.
But you know what? You know what I would buy? At WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre versus Nick Aldis.
Oh my God. Again with this fucking Aldis bullshit.
I would love to see a jacked up Nick Aldis looking like granite. Oh, yeah. And then
nobody fucking cares.
Come on, give him one.
Go watch Nigel McGuinness, you fucking fraud.
Are you fuck you? Hold on, fuck you. First off, fuck you because fuck you. And then the other one is fuck you. So
I'd rather watch Adam Pearce wrestle than Nick Aldis.
Fuck off, and you know that's not true.
Adam Pearce versus Roman Reigns. We never got it. I want it.
No, fuck you. What I'll say this much is Nick Aldis is jacked to the gills. Nick Aldis versus Drew McIntyre would be fucking stellar.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Pre-show. Put it on the SmackDown the night before. No one fucking wants that on a Mania card.
You can make people care.
Out of here. Second year in a row, you fucking dorks. And I want Nick Aldis to wrestle WrestleMania. No! Get the fuck out of here. You can wrestle on a Saturday night main event. Bury it somewhere.
Wow, you are just not hospitable to him at all, aren't you?
I just don't want it. I don't need to see him. I've seen him wrestle. I saw his match with Cody. It was great back in the day in NWA when he was an actual wrestler. He's a fucking GM now, bro. I don't need to see him fucking beat a fucking heavyweight champ. He wants to wrestle R-Truth and beat him.
He's not going to beat a heavyweight champ. Just give him a fucking match is all I'm saying. Jesus. My God.
What a shitty fucking hope.
Oh, yeah. So yours is so good,
Mine is so much better because he gets the titles off those fucking frauds and puts them on.
Guess what? It's not going to fucking happen, you dildo.
Yeah, guess what? Know what else is going to happen? Nick fucking Aldis wrestling Drew McIntyre. You know who's a better chance of wrestling Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania? His fucking wife. Because at least she's fucking relevant and people know who she is.
Nobody knows who she is.
Everyone knows who Mickie James is, bro. Come on, get the fuck out of here. A lot more people know Mickie James than fucking Nick
I'd
Aldis.
rather watch Michael Cole wrestle. We know that's not true.
Jesus. Did someone say that?
That's what Ben said.
Yeah. Okay. Let's not. I like the sentiment, Ben, but I don't ever want to see Michael Cole wrestle again.
He's just saying more ridiculous shit to be funny.
Well, you just had a ridiculous hope. So
anyway, going back to a comeback. Don't call it a comeback. He's been here for a while, but I was very excited. He made the save for Dragunov and Ciampa. That's our boy Mello, Carmelo Hayes. The crowd is behind him. He came out, shot out like a cannon. I'm happy to see that he's on television. I'm happy that the crowd still remembers him and that he's finally getting some, not the rocket, but he's getting a sparkler at this point. But it's okay. He's getting there. And I'm really excited to see where he goes because I think he's a gem of a man. He's the gem of a wrestler. So I'm very excited to see what he does next. So I'm very happy for him. And go Mello, go.
My comeback, I'm going down NXT Nestlemania because the Heartbreak Kid did it again. To kick off the show tonight, we had a North American title match in the women's variety. Blake Monroe defending against Thea Hale. And hell yeah, Nestlemania. Thea Hale pulls the big upset. Finally wins a title down there in NXT. I love when HBK does the shockers. And look, at Blake didn't need that title. She's whatever. But it was a fun thing. There was a fun little storyline. I'm looking forward to watching it when we get off the air. But I'm going to give my comeback to Thea Hale. You know, I've always been kind of a little bit of a hater of her, but I do respect her. I think she's really good. So I'm glad she got her moment here and a nice little surprise. So Thea Hale, hell yeah, baby. You're getting my comeback this week.
Okay. Lovely.
Big old finish. We got tape shows in Nestlemania. SmackDown, we talked about the Wyatt 6 and the NFTs on Raw. We got Javon Evans taking on one of the Americano jobbers. We got Roxanne and Bailey, and we got Rhea Ripley versus Asuka.
I'm sure it'll be a fun time, but again, like we talk about, tape shows don't fucking matter. So I feel like nothing is going to move the needle here.
Yeah, that's why we're not going to be live again until January 6th.
Probably.
We'll have the knockers next week or the week after, though. So.
Can't wait. Can't fucking wait for tomorrow. AEW. Get excited. A 3-hour special, folks.
Fuck me.
Yep. Oh yeah. You wanna hear some of this bullshit? Get ready for your holiday bash. You ready for this?
Yeah.
This is gonna be fucking mixed tag, 6-man tag palooza nonsense. You ready for this? First off, you got your boys, the FTRs against the Bang Bang Gang, which is actually pretty good, I think, for the tag team champions. That's pretty funny. We've also got Hater in the House versus Chris Statlander. That'll be fun. I don't know why. This is AEW Dark Stocking Stuffer. That's a real fucking thing. I don't even know what that means. It's on YouTube, apparently. We've also got this. Oh, God, this is a real thing. Mercedes is going to be part of an 8-woman tag. Mercedes, Athena, Marina, and Megan versus Tony, Mina, Willow, and Harley. Okay. We have a contract signing, JC, for World's End, where your Samoan Snore champion and Swerve and Hangman Adam Page are going to be tripling the signatures. Do you care?
No.
Not even a little.
You're
not even listening to me. That's
barely.
Fine. Continental Classic. Get excited. We've got Mascara Dorado, whatever his name is, against Orange Cassidy. Nobody cares.
Fuck, that's terrible.
We've got Kyle Fletcher versus Pac. That's fine. Your boy John Moxley versus Roderick Strong.
Oh, God, I know you want to watch that one.
Jesus Christ, this just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Jesus Christ. Oh, the Dynamite ring. A battle royal is happening here. So
is MJF going to lose it?
I can't remember if he won last year or not. Or did Adam Cole beat him for it?
Oh, did Adam Cole beat him for it? You might be right.
So I don't know whose it is now. Is that even a thing?
I don't fucking know. It's only a thing once a year when they decide to make it a thing.
Yeah, but doesn't the old one have to be then? I don't know. It's a whole. I can't. It's schematic.
I think I understand this that bullshit company.
I don't. I don't. I can't do it. I can't do it. Also, World's End, 2 days after Christmas. Are you out of your fucking mind? Seriously? Okay, whatever.
They got another one?
Yeah, World's End is the day after Christmas in Chicago. I can't do it. I don't even know who's in the Battle Royal, so I can't even tell you who's going to be the one. It looks like a bunch of guys from the fucking Don Callis family.
So half the roster.
Yeah. We got some Brody. We got some Caster. We've got some other peoples. It's just getting kind of crazy here. Yeah, I don't know. We got Ricochet. We got Shelty B. They're all, I don't know. It's just like, it just feels like all I'm watching here is just fucking mid-card. So I don't know. It'll be whatever it is. I don't know.
I look forward to Joe's report because I will not be watching that piece of shit, especially if it's 3 hours.
3-hour palooza starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So there it is. Wrestling is healthy. That's for sure. On that note, I think we're done. Yeah.
Knockers, baby. Get ready.
If you need your stocking stuffed, boy, oh boy, are we going to stuff it for you, because we're going to have a lot of categories. We're going to have a lot of things going on, folks. It's the end of the year. It's the end of the year awards. The only way we know how to do it by giving out a set of golden knockers. That's it. And as JC just displayed, they're hefty, and we're going to have some fun. On that note, thank you for listening to the Jobber Knocker podcast. Make sure you tune in to the Golden Knockers. Best hair. Like, there's a fucking category. You know what it is. On that note, thank you for listening and watching the Jobber Knocker podcast. We'll be back next year for some more
Live
Jobber Knockery.